Hey everyone, this is Cheryl Morrison, your local Chicagoland real estate attorney, and today I want to talk about fixtures and their role in a real estate transaction. Whether you're buying or selling, this is a really important point for you to think about as you are going through your purchase or your sale so that there aren't any misunderstandings or problems down the line, especially because these issues usually come up if they come up right before the closing, which is not the time that you want to be stuck in not being able to close because of a small issue that we should have addressed earlier. So let's talk about what a fixture is to begin with, because you might not be familiar with that term in the real estate context. So a fixture is physical property that is attached to real estate. And because it is attached to real estate, we actually treat it as part of the land. Because of that also, it's something that is included in the sale of a property. So this is something, certainly, the house on the land itself, which you're buying, is definitely fixed. And also, though, many of the things in it, your flooring, your mechanicals, like your plumbing and your electrical, your hot water tank, your air conditioner, all of those things are fixtures to the property. They're things that you anticipate, that you expect are going to come with your purchase of that home. There are things that are a little bit more confusing on whether or not they are, permanently affixed and part of the real estate. And because of that, we have a provision in our standard contract that lists out all the things that typically are conveyed with property, and so that we can confirm that those things are indeed staying with the property. So these are things like your appliances, the washer and dryer, your air conditioning, the sump pump, any built-in shelving that you might have, if you have wall-mounted brackets for your TV or your sound system, those are included. Your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detector, those as well, those are considered to be fixtures. Your light fixtures, your blinds, and then if you have an outdoor play set, that too. And then finally, even things such as, your garage door openers, the planted vegetation and flowers in your yard, and any hardscape that you have there. This isn't, the full list. The full list is many items more, but these are some high points of things there. So as a seller, you're going to be checking all the things. Yes, this is all included. The buyer wants to confirm that all of those things, yes, this is what we expect to be conveyed to us as part of the closing. And then if there's anything else beyond that, you'll have space on there to write that in, both saying, yes, this is something that we are leaving with the property, and no, this is something that we are taking with us to the property. Taking with us from the property when we leave. So from here, how do you go about making sure that there isn't any confusion? And there's a few things that you can do. First and foremost, you should be making sure that your attorney is having this conversation with you when you hire them. Absolutely find somebody who is willing to take the time to go through the list, make sure that all of the common things are included. If there's something that they notice that isn't checked off, have that conversation and say, hey, I noticed that this says that the air conditioning is not included. Does the property have air conditioning? And then we can head off that problem right then and there, have it corrected. From there, there's a few other things though that you can do. If you're selling the home, if there's something in your home that you think might lead to any confusion, you can take it down. So if you have, some bookshelves, for instance, that you think, look like built-ins, but you really intend to take them with, you can either take that down and put it, away, store it somewhere, or make sure that your realtor puts it specifically in the listing that these are not built-ins and they are not being conveyed as part of this purchase. That would really help a lot too. And then, as a buyer, make sure that if there is something that you see in the property that isn't listed on the contract itself, that you affirmatively bring it up with your realtor and your attorney and say, hey, we are expecting that this is going to stay with the property, but there's no place on there. Let's clarify, put that in the contract so that we can be sure that there are no problems. So years ago before it became common for lots of people to hang their TVs on the walls. One problem that we often saw with miscommunication with these fixture issues was the built-in not built-in, the wall-mounted brackets for your TV. There were lots of issues with people who went to their final walkthrough and were expecting that was left and it was taken, and we had to negotiate that. Recently I had one where somebody took mirrors from the bathroom, and this is actually a really interesting one. I would say that if you had a mirror as part of the decor on your wall in a bedroom or, you know, your front room, something like that, that's something that is not a fixture. However, if you're talking about the mirror that is in the bathroom over the sink, the mirrors that, you know, probably were there when you purchased the property, you know, but it's a common place for a mirror to be and a mirror to stay. And in that instance, it really is more likely to be a fixture. If you have purchased, you know, a particular you know, wall hanging mirror for your bathroom, and you know, you are really in love with this and intend to bring it with you when you sell your property, this is something that there's going to be a lot of confusion about and probably a misunderstanding with your buyers. I would absolutely, in that instance, recommend that you specifically list that and say, this is our mirror, you know, we do not intend to leave it with the home, so that there aren't any last minute problems at the closing table with your buyers. So I hope that this has been helpful. It's, you know, an interesting part of the negotiation of, you know, purchasing or selling a home, and something that people don't always think about up front because you're thinking about the big stuff, but this little stuff, you know, can really make a big difference too. So it's worth giving some thought. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions about this, do reach out to me. I'm here to help. Thanks, everybody.